Right, welcome back to the Davy Brown 990 Restoration channel. For those of you new, my name's Barry. Today we're going to pop this back on and into the tractor. So we've got our quadrant control lever. The linkages is going to go back on to protect that push rod that's sticking out of the castings, and we're going to put this back on today as well. I spoke to Stuart at 9 o'clock this morning. I've ordered the spring for here, comes up from here to a little post to keep that in position, so I've ordered that. But I'm still going to pop that in today, and I'll just put a little bit of wire in the hole to keep it picked up so that it doesn't interfere or get jammed in somewhere that it doesn't need to get jammed. So we've got our 1/2 inch internal O-ring to go into the seat in there, and we'll pop that in with a bit of grease in a minute. We've got our gasket that we made yesterday. Now, this yoke is kept onto the shaft via a 532 spring pin, which must have gotten broken when I took it out because it's not here, and I don't have a 532. So again, when I was speaking to Stuart this morning ordering the spring for that, I've ordered a 532 spring pin, but for today I'm going to put a 1/8 split pin in just to hold it, because I can get in there when this is on the tractor, pop the that out, put the spring pin in. Okay, then we're going to get the covers put on, stop the dirt getting in front and back today, as I said, just to stop the muck getting in. Right, now I've thought about this for a good 40 minutes, and this is the only way I can see of getting this back together. If you know of another way, drop us a comment, share the information please, because I cannot see any other way. The original plan was to build this up in the housing on the bench with, there's the bits, with the yoke, with the pin in the yoke like that, then take it down to the tractor, compress the spring and build it up. And on my spare shaft I tried compressing the spring just to see if I could get a pin through the hole here, or a wire, and I did it with a wire, put a wire in, do what I was going to do, pop it together, pull the wire out. You can't get the wire out, the spring's too tight on it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go down the tractor in a minute. We're going to compress the spring on the rod that's in the tractor. We're going to put a wire in. We're going to put the yoke with this sleeve, the pin, and the fittings here on the end of the rod. Then we're going to pop this over it, and then we're going to put that in from outside. At least that's the plan. So it might be that we'll have to change our plans, but we'll see. Let's crack on, get it done. Right, let's see if we can get this done without getting in your way much. So the idea is we'll feed our spring on as far as it goes, push it back, put the wire in to hold it. Right, let's get our fittings to go on here. Let's have a nice liberal coating of some grease, some of the red stuff. We'll put that little spacer on there. We will then put this together and we'll feed that on. Now we'll put the other spacer on the front and we'll pop one nylock on, and then we'll give our hands a wipe. Right, let's run that nylock up so it doesn't go flying. Oh, dilly boo. Right. Now I'm going to compress the spring again, pull the wire out. If we can. Let's get a screwdriver. There we go. So we've got the wire out. Panic station's there. Panic station, I was thinking, how's that happened? Okay. Now, before we try and fit the casting, we need to put this gasket in. Needs to go in like that. So, get a bit of the red stuff on it. I love this grease. It's nice and thick and sticky, and just about everything gets a liberal coating with grease. Okay, wipe our hands again. Now this is going to be the good bit. Can we get this together in such an enclosed space? It's got to go in that way. Bit of grease in the hole. Keep everything, keep the O-ring in place. Pop that in. Let's put a bit of grease on my shaft for the handle, so then goes together nicely. We'll feed our plastic sleeve on. Push it up to there. Okay. What's our sleeve done? We've got our pin handy. Got our gasket done. Both sides. We'll just wipe our fingers. So what we'll do first, we'll wipe the face. We'll just wipe our fingers on there. Okay, now let's see. Oops, the diddles. Watch my gasket. That's got to be an easier way than this, isn't it? Got to be. Can we get in there with a bit of wire and just square that up a bit? There we go. Right, fight's over. Little bit of grease on the threads. I love it when you got loads of space. It's great, isn't it? So we can have a look down the back. Check our gasket's still in place. Okay. Right, not tight, because there's still a third bolt to go in yet in here. Okay, let's see if we can get our holes to line up in here. There we go. Now, obviously there's adjustments to do on that, but I don't think you can't do that at the minute. You can only do that once the hydraulics is working, I think. Okay, let's find last bolt for there. Right, let's see if we can get this one in. Half-inch spanner on that. This is a bit tight to get in here. Would have been nice to have a short spanner. Right, that's nicely nipped. I'll just give this a little nip, and that one a little nip. Okay, and as I say, that will do for that. Now we're just going to pop the front cover on here. Got a gasket for it. Pop my gasket, got my nice cover. We'll pop my gasket in, just leaving this dry for the moment. There we go. I was just picking up the making sure that I collected the needle valve on the way in there. Now the original Phillips head screws that came out of here were too badly damaged to save. The heads were gone on them, and I couldn't find any anywhere with Phillips heads. So I was getting these stainless steel ones. But I say these will do temporary, just to keep the dirt out. Once that pin arrives from Stuart from Bartley Williams, we'll whip this back off, we'll knock that pin in, but again we still won't, at that point we won't grease everything up here, because this is going to be coming back off again to do the setup on this. Okay, that's as much as we're going to do in here for today. That's all. I just wanted that shaft protected. We're going to nip around to the back now, and we're going to put that other little fitting in at the back and get that set up. At the back of the tractor, as you can see up here, it's one of those beautiful, absolutely gorgeous sunny autumn mornings. So we're going to pop this back in here, then we're going to soak it all with oil, and we're going to put a gasket on, and we're going to put a plate on, and hopefully keep the muck out till our springs arrive from Stuart. Now I thought about the difficulties of putting this in. You just assume it's going to be a straightforward job, don't you? And it just about turns out just about to be a straightforward job. Sorry about the hand, but there's not a lot else we can do at the minute. Nip that. Just nip that, check it, make sure it's still working. Now I need that to be lifted up. So what I'm going to do, I have got here a little piece of wire. I'm going to put a bend on the end of that wire. I'm going to reach in there and pop that into that hole like that. Lift it up. Now what I'm going to do is put that wire round the top of that cam like that. I say it's just to keep that out of mischief. Make sure nothing untoward happens to it. Now we will give that a bit more, and we'll get that a little bit more. Now we're going to grab an oil can. That's what I didn't bring with us, and we're going to give that thing a good soaking in oil, like that. Okay. Now we've got our gasket and our little plate, and we're only going to pop this on dry because it is coming back off again, as we know it is. Let's get this prepped. Whoops a diddles. As I say, this is just temporary. Springs were ordered this morning, so hopefully Stuart will get them in the post today. We should get them by Wednesday. Well, as I say, that's it for this one, just a short one, but I wanted to get the castings on the front to protect that push rod. I wanted to get the internals into that, the rock shaft frame, the selector frame on the back. Just to get little jobs out of the way, get things put in. We can get the covers put on, keep some of the dirt out, hopefully. Right, well thank you very much. We really do appreciate it when you give up some of your time to come visit and see what we're doing. If you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, tell your mates, It all helps to grow the channel, and we are still growing quite nicely, thank you very much. This here, really do appreciate all the time and effort that you guys put in, and your comments. Please keep the comments coming. Really do appreciate the comments. Right, now don't forget, don't overthink it. It's only nuts and bolts. See you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye now.